What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Lion and I make videos on relationship tips and advice specifically catered to women from a perspective of a man. So if that's something that you're into or you want to learn more about that, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell on so you get notified every time I post a new video. All right, so in today's video, I want to talk to you about the 7 things that I believe literally every man is desperately looking for in a woman. Now, I know that there's exceptions to every rule, but I really try to make a list of things that I believe if there are exceptions, they're very, very minimal and almost negligible. I believe that these 7 things are things that literally every single guy is looking to find in a woman. Before I even get to the list, I just wanted to remind you guys that if you find any of the information that you see in this video or any other of my videos useful and valuable, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up so the YouTube algorithm knows that you appreciated it and you will show it to more people, allowing me to continue doing this. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into number 1. All right, so the first thing that I believe every guy is desperately looking for in a woman is he wants to be attracted to her. Now, I know that sounds very obvious, but every guy wants to be deeply attracted to the woman that he's going to be with. Now, we're not going to lie and we're going to say the truth here. So attraction is very important to men. Is being attractive is very important for a man. So the fact that his woman is attractive to him is very important. Now, before you get angry and before you say, well, you can't change the way you look and all that, this is actually a really great opportunity for you because there are so many different tastes, there are so many different flavors out there, there are so many different preferences out there that, becoming attractive is not about becoming and looking like someone in a magazine or someone from a movie or anything like that. Becoming attractive is becoming the best version of yourself, because whoever you are and whatever you look like, there's going to be a whole bunch of guys who are going to be desperately attracted to that. You just have to make sure that you put that forward and make sure that you package it in the best way possible. When it comes to attractions, don't worry about the people who do not find you attractive. You're simply not their cup of tea. But to the people who do find you attractive, just become the best version of yourself. Now, please remember to forget all the unattainable standards that are put in front of us in the media, on TV, in magazines, whatever it is. They're not really meant to show you what attractive looks like. They're just there to make you buy their products. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, and there's going to be a whole bunch of guys who are going to find that infinitely attractive. All right, so that brings us to the second item on our list today, and that is that every guy is looking for someone to share their passion with. They're desperately looking to share their passion with you. There's always at least one topic that you can start talking to a guy and you can just see his eyes light up. He can talk about it nonstop and he's getting very passionate when he talks about it. So whether that subject is home renovation or cars, or I don't know, stock investing or opening up a new business or literally whatever it is. But there's always this one thing that your guy is going to be very passionate about. Finding whatever it is that drives him and whatever it is that he's passionate about and listening to him talk about it, and then hopefully also jumping in and wanting to share that passion a little bit with him is something that literally, and I can vouch for that 100%, is something that literally every single guy is dreaming to have, and he's going to hold on to you for dear life if he finds that with you. It is becoming increasingly rare today to find someone who genuinely gives a shit about the things that really drive you. So finding someone who will not only take the time to listen to you, but someone who will also want to take part in whatever drives you, that's just priceless. All right, so this conveniently brings us to number 3, and that is that every guy is desperately looking for someone who's going to share his goals, his dreams, and his aspirations, and is going to support him in these things. The best, the longest lasting, the strongest, the most passionate relationships are always relationships where the two people involved have the same vision and they have the same goals and they have the same aspirations and they often want the same things out of life and are moving towards the same direction in order to get those things. If you can find someone who will, pick up on those things and will have similar aspirations and would want the same things and will want to support you in those things. Just when I say this, although it might not look like it, and a lot of women think that, guys only want one thing, but guys desperately want that. If they seemingly don't want that, it could only mean that they don't want that with you necessarily. But every single guy really, really wants to find someone who will support them in their goals and their dreams and their aspirations. I just want to say one more thing before we move over to number 4. That does not mean that you should drop any of your goals or your aspirations or your dreams and just support us in ours. What that basically means is that our goals align. All right, so moving forward, let's talk about number 4. Now, number 4 is basically what I started talking about in number 3. Every single guy is looking for a woman who has goals, who has dreams, and who has aspirations. Finding someone who is passionate about something is the most attractive quality there is. And a guy definitely, as much as we want to be supported in our goals, in our dreams, in our aspirations, we want to find someone who is as driven as us. We want to find someone who is passionate about life. And the more you'll find that the guy is passionate about those things, the more he'll want his partner in crime, if you will, to be as passionate about things as well. So again, we don't want to find someone who's just going to mindlessly support us in our goals, in our dreams and aspirations. We want to find someone who also has goals, who also has dreams, who also wants something out of life. And most importantly, we want someone who is on the same path as us. We want these goals to align. We want to make sure that we're going into that same direction and we want the same things out of life. So as much as it is important for us to have our own goals and dreams and aspirations and for you to support them, we want to do the exact same thing for you. All right, so moving forward to number 5. And this one is actually pretty simple, but every guy wants a woman who he is compatible with. Now, I know that the word compatibility is thrown around when it comes to relationships, when it comes to dating, pretty freely, but we never really stop and think, what does compatibility actually mean? So compatibility in relationships and in dating means that your relationship should be fairly easygoing, that your relationship, your dating experience, whatever it is, should be pretty easy and should be pretty effortless. So if we feel that it's just so much hard work, chances are that we're just not compatible. I know that all of you heard the saying that, relationships take hard work, and it's, you have to put in the work to keep and be in a relationship. But if your relationship entirely is based on work, that you feel like you have to wake up every morning and, just work on your relationship just in order for you to stay together, then that relationship is probably not for you. I think that a lot of people are trying to hold on to relationships that they probably either outgrew or maybe even weren't supposed to be in from the very start. But we hold on to things because that's what we know, because that's what is comfortable, and because we're too afraid to leave these relationships because we don't know what's on the other side. But trust me when I say this, you'll be a lot happier if you stopped holding on to things that are no longer really there in your life. You have to accept the fact that everything in life, including our lives, has a beginning, middle, and an end. And that the sooner we understand that, and the sooner we accept that, and the sooner we accept that some things in our life just come to an end, and we won't try to stop it and to hold on to things by working on these things day in and day out, the sooner we'll give ourselves an opportunity to be happier with someone else. The sooner we'll give ourselves the opportunity to actually let go and allow ourselves to potentially meet someone else who we don't have to work so hard with. So again, I just want to say that compatibility means that your relationship, for the most part, should be effortless. You shouldn't have to put work day in and day out just to stay together. All right, since we got to number 6, I figured it was just natural that we talked about sex. I'm going to be very blunt, and I'm not going to beat around the bush or maybe feed you some sweet little lies. I'm going to tell you straight up that sex is extremely important when it comes to your relationship. And the longevity of your relationship often really depends on the quality and the quantity of your sex life. So if you believe that sex is something that you only need at the very beginning of the relationship and that overall it will die at some point or will diminish, usually the desire does not diminish. If anything, it probably even increases with time, depending on your age, of course. But I will tell you this, if you put sex as something that is only important in the very beginning of your relationship, the longevity of your relationship will probably suffer from it. Men in general consider sex as a very important factor of their relationship and will continuously evaluate the quality of their relationship based on the quality of their sex life. So I'm not going to get into what you should do and how you should elevate your sex life in this video. I think there's a whole bunch of content out there online on how you can do that and how you can spice things up even after years of being together. But what I am going to say is that please think about sex and work on it just like any other aspect of your relationship, because men find that super important and will evaluate how happy they are within the relationship based on the quality of their sex life with you. All right, so let's get into number 7. You know the saying, let's leave the best for last. And I think that in this specific scenario, in this specific situation, it really does apply. And since we talked about attractiveness as the first point, talking about the next point, number 7, we're actually going to come full circle. Every guy is looking for a girl, is looking for a woman who has a good vibe. When it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to feelings, it never is about the facts, right? We don't look at someone and say like, listen, I think that she or he looks very good on paper. They have the right job, they have, you know, the right looks, they're completely my type, they say the right things, they're maybe have a good sense of humor, a sense of humor that I appreciate or whatever, but we can't force being attractive to that person. We can't force ourselves to be attracted to that person. We either feel it or we don't. And it's very rarely made on these, you know, factual and all these analytical things. It never is a combination of all of these, you know, what we consider good features that makes somebody attractive to us. We just feel it or we don't feel it. We either feel attracted to somebody or we don't feel attracted to them. Contrary to how women usually do it, men don't evaluate sort of how, you know, the quality of a woman and how they feel about you based on a rational thinking of, you know, picturing a future with that woman. Instead, what guys do, and almost entirely, what we do is that we're going to evaluate how we feel about you based on how you make us feel when you're around. So if we feel good, if we feel happy, if we feel energized when you're around, that's how we're going to feel about you. We would want to either be around that energy or we won't want to be around that energy. So if your energy is always positive, if you're a happy person, if you just like to, you know, have fun and you enjoy life and that you always see the glass half full, we're going to see that as your vibe. We're going to see that way before, you know, we see how smart you are or how pretty you look that day. Your vibe is literally the first thing. It's like, it's your energy. It's literally the first thing that we will notice about you. And if you have a positive vibe, if you have a good energy around you, we would want to spend more time with you. We want to continue getting to know you. And most importantly, we just would want to be around you. And if your vibe is just not there, I don't care how good you are on paper. I don't care how much time you spend on your makeup today. I don't care how perfect you look. I don't care how, you know, interesting your stories are. Or how passionate you are about a whole bunch of projects. I would literally stop listening and stop looking if your vibe is just not there. So how positive you are, if you always come to me with, you know, problems, if you only see the glass half empty, if you only see problems or, you know, obstacles in every single situation, if you always like to play the victim, I would feel that about you and I would not want to be around that energy for a second longer. Want to come full circle again. So when it comes to attractiveness, don't just think physical, but also think about your vibe. These are the 7 things that every guy desperately is looking for in a woman. And trust me when I say this, when a guy does find, you know, some and maybe and hopefully even all of those things with one woman, he will never let her go. Most of the things I was talking about here, they're not just about finding a guy. Most of these things are about becoming a better person. And these things, for the most part, apply for as much men as they are for women. And they will benefit you more than they will benefit the other person. So don't do it for anyone else. If you decide to make some of these changes, do it for yourself. And you will thank yourself down the line for making those changes. All right, guys, I really appreciate if you took the time to watch this video till the very end. Like I said before, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. Maybe stick around and watch some of my other videos. I linked a few of them in my description, and also another one will appear at the very end of this video. I'm going to see you guys in my next video, and in the meantime, don't forget to keep your head up. Peace.